Good morning, Marcus. Good morning, sir. How are we? Thank you very much for reaffirming the subscription. That's just an anniversary message, I think, isn't it? 18 months total. 2-month streak, my guy. We need to make you this morning, don't we? In fact, let's do that as the very first thing we do. For those of you that are watching the VOD or that are on their way into the stream, we are doing F1 first today in terms of actually playing the game. But, oh God, no, hang on, FC's updating. Oh, does that mean the live edit is going to be broken? It might do, you know. It might do. Oh, I might not be able to make you, Marcus. Shit, Clarence. Before I was even aware of what was happening, it was halfway through the update. Are you not gonna work now? It might not work now. Oh shit. What luck? Yeah, tell me about it. Morning, AD. Hopefully it works. We might get lucky. Please work. Please. We are Chinese Grand Prixing today. Oh, it's a sprint as well, isn't it? I forgot about the sprint. Fuck. Long one. It's gonna be a long one. You should have gone live 20 minutes ago when I was actually in the office. Fucking twat. Right, let me get Sophie for up. Because we need to... Next page. Next page. Let's use you, sir. Actually, what position are you going to be? Where's my thingy? There it is. Striker left wing, okay. Alright, looks like it's working. Thank Jesus Christ, our Lord and Saviour. I've just seen the team you're starting at. You son of a bitch. When we go on to FC, AD, we'll take a look at it. What am I doing? I'm just searching for someone on players. Let's find him. We're looking for a certain Lemnaru, who I've evidently already used for someone else, which is excellent. Let me find someone else then. You. Oh, I'm actually fucking on the right thing, doesn't it? Okay, good. Oh, fucking... There's so many... I have so many tabs open. I'm always on the wrong fucking one. Donlan. Regan Donlan. That is going to be Marcus. So let me get Marcus's person up. Then bring chat in so I can see what's going on. Yeah, we've already changed Lemnaru and used him for someone else. Oh no! I just need to figure out which Braden this is. Braden! I think that's Sheza, but I'm not sure. it's going to be Shezza, isn't it? Let me get my spreadsheet up as well. Just noticed that someone's cancelled their thing. I think it's Fatal Shezza. I think it's Braden. I've got 2 Bradens, one of which is... Oh no, that's Brandon, isn't it? It's Brandon that's the... Yeah, okay, so that's definitely Braden then. Oh, Braden. Goodbye, my lover. I'm sure it's that Braden. Braden. Yeah, Braden is the only Braden, so it's definitely Braden. Rip. Right, let's make Marcus first, and then we can deal with everything else after that. Chat. I'm only taking out the shit Romanians. I don't know why I saved that. I've not changed anything yet. So we've got the plan for today's Chinese Grand Prix, and then an episode of the Realistic Road to Glory, which could be the last episode of the season. Equally, could not be the last episode of the season. No. Jersey name. You're not a left back. You want to be a striker left wing. That was a terrible Scottish accent. I apologise. Club jersey. Marcus, what number do you want to be? Ples. Hungarian. And which play style would you like? Advanced forward, poacher, false 9, or target forward? I'll put advanced forward for now. Just click something. Number 66 is fine. It's 2 potential poacher. Marcus is going to be a poacher. He's going to be part egg. Left foot. 19th of July. 2006. That is, if I get the right piece of software up, Tom for the 37th month. Mwah. Merci beaucoup, monsieur. Thank you, mate. Very good of you. Attributes your striker. So let's give you, oh, maybe 61's a bit much. 77 crossing? You're going to be a monster. Oh, 44 finishing. Okay, let's do 57 finishing and then significantly lower your crossing. Skill, power, movement, mentality. Yeah, 58 rated because we're halfway through the season already. Appearance, height, 6 foot, which was about 190, wasn't it? Ish. Weight, 140 pounds. I don't know what it is in kilo. We'll go 75. Eyes. Blonde, so presumably blue eyes. But you are here. Around 60 to 65. Yeah, I've absolutely no idea when it comes to kilo. $63, thank you, AD. Untucked tight. No. 6 foot is 184, is it? Oh, my bad. My bad. I made too good. Hairstyle 245, that's very helpful. And you're very helpful. You're very helpful. Generate mini face. Hey, look, that is definitely not blonde. Probably because I haven't clicked save, isn't it? Because I'm an idiot. Ready? Now he's going to be blonde. Ta-da! Makes more sense now, doesn't it? And then transfer. Transfer player to Because it's Marcus, of course. Marcus wants to play for Peterborough. Shakes fist. That's everything. Now I just need to redo that on the RTG save. Let me cancel, actually. I'll save and quit. That settings, yes, that's the wrong one. AD, what was he wanting me to change on your guy as well, actually? You want me to, you messaged me about changing someone on your guy. Oh, he's too small. You wanted that to be 190, didn't you? Morning, Nick. How are we, lad? Quit with that fading, then load it again. Yeah, I presumed as much, Nick. Yeah, that's quite close, Tom, isn't it, really? You're not going to get much closer than that between 5 drivers, are you, really? Marcus, there he is. Look at that. Save. And we'll do the same for the thingy. Journeyman. God, my brain just absolutely froze. It's going to be one of those days, I think, where the old noggin isn't necessarily up to speed. Yeah, I saw AD. I did see the comment. The comment you mentioned about the height actually wasn't in the... Or was that the comment you were on about in the Patreon message? Who was the guy we were... Oh, who was the person with... Oh, Donnellan. He's kept his player face and his nationality, at least. I don't sign Patreon players, no, AD, because it would be unfair to prioritise one Patreon player over another. Plus, they're guaranteed to grow exponentially, which is not the idea of Patreon players. It would mean that I'd be actually actively slowing down the growth of a Patreon player, which would be unfair. I could maybe add another tier to the Patreon. You know, if people just wanted to be in the save, then they could be 1, and then if they wanted to be available for purchase, then it could be another. But that's not something I've actually put too much thought into. Obviously, I also couldn't guarantee that I'd buy the person. Otherwise, I'd probably have like 50 people that would be like, buy me! And I'd be like, I can't buy you all. Which is the reason why we don't do it in the first place now. Save, appearance. 17, 184 and 65. 184, 65. Blue eyes. hair was 245. Blonde. No facial hair. Save. Transfer player. Random team. Hartberg. In the RTG, you are at Hartberg, sir. So I need player Chris Bradford. Need to put 58 rated now at United. Green. No, twat. Custom sort. That one. There we go. And then I need to do the same for Journeyman. Sort. Custom sort. That one. Okay. Right. That's that done. That's that done. That's that done. Just need to change the height of AD in this save as well. To 190. And then save these. Were your parents born in Norway as well, Marcus? Or are your parents Hungarian? Just out of curiosity. You really do, AD, don't you? Your guy's a bit like... Brr. Right. That controller down. Pick this controller up. Now we can go racing. Go away with your copyright. I remember.
4 seconds back to Verstappen, race leader.
Parents born in Norway, your grandmother was Swedish and your grandfather Hungarian. On the same side, presumably. Oh, there's a new season. Yeah, same side. That's a nice helmet. Good afternoon, Suffolk Gamer. How are we, sir? You knew Arsenal were going to lose, so you bet on Newcastle. Oh, yeah, mixed conditions at the end of each session, wasn't it? Oh, good! I hadn't. Ads, actually, no. Welcome to the Chinese Grand Prix. It's the first sprint weekend of this 4th season, and there's a smattering of rain in the air. Both the sprint and the main race have rain at the end. But in typical F1 game fashion, with the forecast set to not entirely perfectly accurate, that rain may well come earlier than the very end. We'll see how our pace is in the wet in a sprint, and then we'll be able to probably adjust accordingly for the main race, we hope anyway. So we're going to put the older parts in, which we've got set to go. We're having an alright season so far. P3, a P6 that should have been a P4, and a P8 in Japan, which is our best Japanese finish thus far. And then China, we've tended to go well in. We've tended to be really strong in China previously. I would obviously like to be strong in China again. I'm not really going to waste your time at the beginning of this one. Just please drop the video a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And hopefully we can do some winning. Dare I say. Spa will hold races in 26, 27, 29 and 31. Oh, okay.
China, how we've missed
So they are going for the whole rotated calendar thing.
Here in Shanghai, we've got free practice for you coming right up.
Is that like those that followed since we were last live? That being B Gray, Chaz, Macalad, Banks Edits, Jake Using Twitch, Toby Adamson, Fire Fuzzball, and Dan KDla. Who I presume is Scouse. It's approximate though, Gamer fans, so it may come earlier.
We're going to be logging some extra data during this session. Nothing you need to worry about, but as we have some new parts on the car, we'll just confirm they're performing to spec.
Alright. Track kilometre. Gonna have to use soft tyres for this. We've got the harder tyre allocation here at China as well. Because of the nature of the
Try
highway
to nail as
circuit.
many corner gates as you can. The faster you get through each corner, the higher the score. You'll need to deploy your DRS in the DRS zone as well.
Just turn this up in my headset slightly. Yeah, United selling Mainu, it just doesn't sit right with me. Garnacho I understand, because they've said that like he's not part of Amarim's plan or the way he anticipates his system. But the fact that you'd consider selling Kobe Mainu just for FFP is disgusting, really. Also a sign that FFP is not set up correctly if teams are being encouraged to sell their homegrown talents actively. Oh, that was a bit wild in the rear end there. Overly convinced about this setup at the minute on the first glance. I've only got one practice session to try and figure it out.
We're approaching the DRS zone. Watch your MFD for the activation
Might just
point.
be that I'm not up to speed yet. It's more than likely that I'm not up to speed yet. Front end feels a little lazy, rear end feels a little slidey. Let's do ERS management on the same set.
Okay, on this test I want you to focus on managing your ERS. It's really important for our overall race pace, and so a reminder that you've got modes to play with in your MFD. See how they feel for you and see how different modes drain the battery.
soft tyres just don't last here at all, do they?
Nice one. Okay, reminder, a neat way to recharge the batteries by lifting at certain points when you feel you can and by gentle braking. Try those this lap and see how you get on.
Yeah, Ineos really haven't done themselves any favours with the fans at all, have they? Firing staff, raising ticket prices. Alright, good. Yeah, teams playing some of the worst football. Like, teams having its worst start to a season in 70 years or something crazy. Let's raise ticket prices to unprecedented levels in one of the most deprived major cities in the country. Can't quite seem to get this, you know? I need all the resource points I can get, really, but I can't seem to get it. I wouldn't say Arsenal look shambolic this season. They're just not as strong as they have been for the past two.
Okay, we need a few solid laps here to help us calculate a good race strategy.
a straight line. They have dropped majorly from last season, but they've also had more injuries this year than they normally get. I think Arsenal fans, or those that are being heavily critical of Arsenal, are everybody tries to judge every team now by Man City's incomparable, unmatchable levels of consistency. It just isn't fair or possible. Excuse me, Ollie. Thank you, Ollie. Can't get the last turn right, save my life. Arsenal had two really strong seasons. Really strong seasons. You're allowed an off year. We should be allowed an off year, should I say. Forest for the title. Probably not Forest for the title, but Forest look great so far. And the wheels don't look like falling off. If they get any injuries, though, it will make it intriguing. Or if they have a little bit of a wobble, it's like, how do you recover from that wobble? Sockmas, thank you very much for the 38th month, 8 in a row as well, my guy. And Tomo has very kindly, for the umpteenth time in a row, arrived and gifted a subscription. It's gone to Thumbs DK. Welcome to the channel, Thumbs. Thank you for supporting DK as a creator, presumably, with that username. If not, then I'm glad you enjoy Donkey Kong. Also, wouldn't say Arsenal are relying on set pieces. They just have been really strong from the set pieces this year. Why would you not utilise a strength of your side? Why is having set pieces being really strong and successful for you a bad thing? Are they scoring goals? Yes. Does it matter then? How they come about? No. Good to have you with us, Big Money Mike. Thank you for joining the stream, my dude. They are probably quite inconvenient times, to be honest, in Australia, but thank you very much for watching for such a long time. Over a decade's worth of support. Oh dear, tyre wear on the soft tyres is very fucking high. Yikes. Just where we bought the harder tyre compound set then, isn't it? Right, let me just tweak the setup slightly. If you'll bear with. Even though I've not got any different options I could use. Or new tyres I could use. See how this compares. So actually this setup hasn't changed that much from what I previously had. Just tweaked the downforce a little bit. I'm not really going to be able to tell with that tyre wear what is or isn't a good setup, but we'll try. Arsenal do need a clinical striker, you're right. But it's not new news. It's like Man United needed a defensive midfielder for 3 or 4 years and just never bought one. Cover's much more balanced. Even despite the worn tyres. Much more balanced. Much prefer that setup, even on super worn tyres. Nope. Save is.
What an incredible practice session that was. But the fun doesn't stop here.
Short practice session, obviously, because we're on a sprint weekend, so we only get 1 practice session rather than 3, and I wasn't able to maximise either, or really any, of the practice programs other than the track acclimatisation, which is hard not to be able to maximise. But we don't look great. I didn't do a lap in anger whilst using the battery in hot laps, so I have absolutely no idea where I sit competitively right now. I only have 391 resource points available, but that should be enough and is enough to do the Halo and get that done before the Miami Grand Prix, and that's a major upgrade, I think. No, it's just a minor one, but it actually adds quite a bit of a jump, so that's good. And then we can't do anything else anywhere else after that, I don't think, until I get to 50%, which hopefully won't be too long. If I can keep performing to a relatively high standard, then we should be on par with George Russell in the not too distant future. He's better than me so far this season. Has more points. I do have an unfortunate DNF though.
Here's something
And
we
hopefully
haven't said for a little
we
while.
can finish ahead of him this
Welcome
weekend
along
and
to
close that
qualifying in
gap.
China after a few years absent.
Oh, sprint quali, of course. I was going to say I'll go out and get the best of the track on the soft tyres, but we don't have soft tyres, do we? Right. I need a 1 minute 30 basically to get through. Just tweak the fuel.
Everyone ready?
1 minute 30.
Okay, let's go.
We'll see if we've got that in us, shall we? Flavio, thank you very much for the follow, mate. Welcome to the channel, dude. Morning, Cap. How are we, lad? Try our best to look after these tyres so we can get the most out
We
of them.
dropped to P20.
It's overcast as well, which I was about to say will help with tyre temperatures, but obviously we've turned carcass temperature off now, so not going to matter that much. Try and take as little out of the tyres on this outlap as possible, so that they're as fresh as can be for the quali lap itself. I didn't put fresh parts in for the sprint. Remind me after the sprint race to ensure that we do put fresh parts in for the main Grand Prix and sessions accordingly, like the qualifying for the main Grand Prix, etc. Right, tyres are suitably low wear. Let's see what we can do.
Thirty seconds left in the session.
Yeah, the pin message will help, for sure. Deep in the hairpin, that's not great. Need a decent lap. Ooh, a 29 into the 29s is a decent lap. P1 in SQ1, and hopefully that's a pattern we can repeat repeatedly through SQ2, SQ3, Q1, Q2, and Q3 for the full weekend. That would be lovely. Faster by a slight chunk as well, actually. It's only SQ1. We won't get carried away, but it's at least a good sign that there's some pace in the car and the setup is where it needs to be. Oh, toffee's better than fudge. 100%. 100%, mate. Toffee better than fudge. 100%. How many laps is it in China? Like 53 or something, isn't it?
Right, the car's ready. Let's get it out there.
$56, thank you, Mike. So it'll be a 19 lap sprint. Ish.
We've dropped to P15.
Evan Nilsson's broken his foot. Oh shit. And then there's Unal's done his ACL. Yeah, that's not great for Bournemouth's season, is it really? Chances of Europe, dreams of Europe, well and truly out the doctor's window. True, there is January literally now. If ever there was a time to get a couple of big injuries to a couple of your key players, it is now. But can you bring anyone in January on loan that is even remotely close to as effective? Because if they're that effective, oh god, that's a tail slide. If they're that effective, then presumably teams that have them will want to keep them. Right, I'm actually going to have to make sure we nail the hairpin here. Evan Eagleson was huge for you, yeah. Because of that rear, because of losing the rear on the way onto this straight. That is a better hairpin than it was on the previous lap. Gonna need to be good. It's good enough. A 30 flat. We'll take it. Should be top 3, top 5. That's fair enough. Made the mistake, but we're through. That's the most important thing. Have there been any shock knockouts? I didn't check in SQ1. It's not that important for a sprint race, really, because there aren't massively large amounts of points on offer. Checo's out in his Haas. Both Ferraris are through. Both Mercedes are through. Both Astons are through. Both McLarens are through. Max just squeaks through. Pierre Gasly is the RB that gets through this time. Yuki out. Both Saubers and both Haas's out. So, as far as I can make out, everybody that should be through is, and everybody that should be out is also out. SQ3. We have the automatic box cap, but I do manually downshift a few times in certain corners on certain tracks. Like I'll purposefully drop a gear somewhere on a certain track.
Okay, that's all the checks
In
complete.
certain
We're ready
areas.
to go.
Just for driver preference. In F2, I had a completely manual gearbox because it's slower. Who's gonna... If you can't bring a lone E in, Leonie, who starts up top? Semenyo, presumably. Don't know who else you've got. Yeah, Clovert's not a striker. Yeah, Jebinson is not Premier League standard. Is Kiefer Moore still on Bournemouth's books? Yeah, it has to be Semenyo. You sold Keith Moore. Keith Moore would have probably done the job. Don't really feel like I've maximised the battery on this Q3 lap. I think this is probably going to be top 5 at best. (29.1). It's not ideal. It's third. It's not bad, actually. I anticipated being slightly lower than that. So we'll take a top 3. If we can get third in the main Grand Prix, we'll be happy with the podium. It's the 2 Ferrari that are ahead of us, and only by a couple of tenths as well. So they are dealable with, if you know what I mean, in the sprint race and in the main Grand Prix, provided we're fast enough in a straight line down the straights. P3 is not a bad place to start, to be fair. We will take it. Time for the sprint race. Killset, thank you for the follow, mate. Can you show me how to choose in the settings so that the other drivers are transparent so you don't hit the bot? If you go to settings and then in rules of flags? No. In here. In the simulation settings you can turn collisions off so that everybody will be invisible. Simulation settings, and then at the bottom, collisions off. That's how you do it. Hope that was helpful, Killset. Best of luck in the learning.
Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best part.
No worries, Killset.
Off the back of a
We don't really need to see the starting grid
in.
because we made it to Q3 and we know everyone's starting where they're starting.
Here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
My personalised tyre wear is quite high. But that was with the old setup, so hopefully the new setup will be less harsh on our tyres. Yeah, we're going to put new parts on after the sprint
Okay,
race.
how was that pull away? You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well.
Oh, I just kind of drove into the back of Lewis there. They're so slow. Like, why are we taking it at 50 miles an hour?
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions look good.
It's good. Rain is expected at the end of the session, but how much of it? Don't know. It doesn't tend to come down that quickly in China, does it? You can sometimes drive around here with dry tyres on whilst it's drizzling. Which makes it more awkward, because it's harder to tell when the crossover point comes. Because it's right at the end, hopefully. It won't be an issue. Strolling them. First time watching F1 live, boss. Hope Christmas Day, New Year was good to you. Was hoping for an RB vote. Sorry, Blake. We ended up at Mercedes, but we're enjoying it so far. The content should start making its way to the second YouTube channel very soon. Thank you for joining us on stream, my dude. We are about to start the sprint in China. So why I said it in a French-English accent, I have no idea.
Superb parking there, mate.
Thank you,
Let's
Mark.
make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out.
I'll try.
Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be
George
patient.
8th. George has not qualified well here, but it's not like I qualified well elsewhere, is it? Probably should have whacked it up into second there. I did get quite a bit of wheel spin, but it wasn't bad as starts go. I always like to hang it wide at China, because sometimes you can sneak up the inside into 2. Hasn't quite worked for us here. George has actually shot up to 4th. Let's go, Mr. Russell. That's a great start, mate. He's actually going to get me here because I had a bit of wheel spin whilst I was... Oh, God. Turned into him. Had a bit of wheel spin whilst I was actually just acknowledging where the hell he was. Warning for the collision, which is rightly so. No damage, thankfully, to either car. It was wheel to wheel. Shows how you need to keep your concentration at all times during race starts. We dropped to 4th, that's fine. It's going to be Mercedes versus Mercedes versus Ferrari, and behind now it's Aston and Aston as well. Stroll started 4th, he's dropped behind his teammate. I started 3rd, I've dropped behind my teammate. George from 8th to 3rd is a monstrous start. He's done remarkably well there. Right, let's get after him, shall we? Let's try and get ourselves, hopefully, the chance of victory here in China. We are a little slow in a straight line, though, I think, even with having taken some wing out. I'll leave space on the apex for Fernando. Most important thing is that we stay within DRS range of the cars in front, obviously, which we have done. A little bit of downforce there, actually, as I swung in with a heavier fuel load, which is not ideal. Something we'll have to manage throughout the course of the Grand Prix, specifically when there's more weight in the car with a full 56 laps worth of fuel rather than just the 19 of the sprint. Right, stay with them, Ches. The main Ferrari out front, Charles Leclerc, has disappeared, but hopefully we can reel him back in.
Watch out for understeer in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as quickly as you can. Push, push.
Yes, I know. Oh, really slow out of there. Apparently, dropped out of DRS range. I lost 2 tenths out of that corner. They are so strong on traction. Crazy strong on traction. Thankfully, I've got DRS. I'm getting a lot of wheel spin that they just aren't getting. Fine. This is probably where my high tyre wear comes in. 5% on the front left already, after 2 and a bit laps. Very high. Just where we went for the harder tyre set around here. It will probably be a medium hard race, I imagine. There's such ridiculous traction out of here last lap. Maybe I just had a poor corner because I've only lost about half a tenth there this time. They had outrageous traction through here as well. And again, they have pulled half a second between George and Lewis, which is coming down. Charles is really opening up a bit of a gap here. We're absolutely in the fight for second, but the win might have gone already. Oh God, on just lap 3. Charles is lapping about 0.3 of a second faster at the minute. weak through there again. It sucks that I'm at my weakest on this circuit in the corners that lead up to this big long straight. I'm fast enough to be able to hold them behind with battery, but I'm not really fast enough at the minute to attack the two in front. Unless they start fighting, I can't, at the minute, get close enough to get past. Not a wheel spin again. My best bet is probably around the outside here, but I need to commit to that earlier and then use a bit more battery. We are occasionally able to make moves into turn 4 to this big braking zone here, but I'm just not close enough at the minute. So tight the field though. Like, everyone is, apart from Charles apparently, everyone is so close on pace. I'm always about 7.5 tenths behind and about 2.5 tenths in front as we come onto this straight. Just not fast enough around the key parts of the track. Charles's lead isn't... He's not running away with it. But he is jogging away at a slightly faster pace than the rest of us. My tyre wear is going to start to become a bit of an issue soon. I think they're slower around 1 and 2, or certainly around 1, because they look after their outside left tyre. Whereas I just drive pedal to the metal as fast as possible all the time. I'm not a tyre whisperer, I'm a tyre shouter. I scream at them until they die. Just not quite close enough to George to make the lunge. Oh, I tried to get on the power slightly before they do there to maybe have a chance into 4, but a little bit of wheel spin, I lost my advantage. I don't think I'm the Kimi Antonelli in this scenario, Ben, because this is going to be Kimi's first year in the sport coming up, and obviously I've got 3 previous seasons in this save under my belt. Two of which are at Ferrari.
You've lost some time to the car behind.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, that is not. The point now where certain curbs I can't touch because my tyres are getting to the point where they're not quite so agreeable anymore. Neither's Fernando Alonso, apparently. To be honest, didn't think he'd lunge around the outside there. I just went to take the racing line. That was like Sainz and Perez in Azerbaijan in real life. What happened there? It's not been uploaded yet, Football Crazy. Journeyman will start getting uploaded as soon as I have a thumbnail. I'm still waiting on the thumbnail for that and for this. Yeah, I see your point, Ben, especially with Hamilton having gone to Ferrari. Am I close enough to George to have a look? I can have a look. It's not a great attempt, though. Might, however, have cost George DRS and the Ferrari. If it has, then it's that half look that then sets up a better opportunity later in the lap. Rear got away from me a little bit through there, though. George is out of DRS range of the car in front. But will we have enough of a speed advantage as I, again, struggle to get the power down? Will we have enough of a speed advantage to get me into the hairpin or not? I don't know. I wouldn't say so at this point. Tyres really are crying out now. No, not close enough. Maybe down the main straight, though. Give me some traction, please, rear tyres. God damn it. They're being really, really unkind to me at the minute, these rear tyres. No, Fernando. There's no room, Fernando. Don't even think about it, Fernando. Oh, George, you slow through there, mate. Right, now we might actually be able to genuinely make a move for George into turn 4 because he's not got the slipstream. I'm going to use a bit more battery. There you go. Daniel Ricciardo-esque. Old school Daniel Ricciardo-esque. That is P3. Although probably not for long, he'll get me back down the straight, I imagine. 2.1 to the Ferrari in front now. I think the Ferraris are gone. It's going to have to be strategy in the main race. Or a very strong qualifying effort. And good defensive work. If I had maximised my start and not been overtaken by George, maybe I could have gotten past Lewis slightly earlier and kept Leclerc within touching distance, but George is going to have me here. I've got no defence whatsoever to this. Does mean that hopefully I'll have DRS, so Down to turn 1 again next lap. Fernando Alonso is trying to get in on the act here as well, but not going to let him. I think my best bet is probably... I don't know what my best bet is. I don't know, as I've got the pace to break DRS range to George anyway. He's so slow on that part though. I think I'm just going to have to try and get past him through one of the braking zones at the end of a DRS straight. I'll save battery a little bit here. I won't go for George on this occasion. We've lost a full second to Lewis from this point in the lap, last lap. Just battling. The Ferraris are definitely gone. There's such a long way in the season left to go though. And so much more we're going to be able to do to upgrade the car to catch Ferrari in the R&D Performance Index, that Ferrari are not going to be this dominant a whole season. They're absolutely going to be catchable by the time we get to Abu Dhabi, I'd like to think. George now using his battery to defend. A little closer this lap than I was last, but only by about 1/10 of a second. Which looks like it's going to be enough. On the outside of the hairpin, Théo Pourchaire is out for the second race in a row. George will now have DRS down this straight, but I'm going to use all of my battery to defend. And then we know that they're slow around 1 and 2. So if I can just get this right, or at least not horribly wrong, then we can open up a bit of an advantage, which we have been able to do. 7/10 now to George behind. As Lando Norris sets the fastest lap of the race. He's presumably boxed at some point for something. Presumably a front wing. No? Oh, they started on softs. I thought everybody was on the medium. I did not anticipate anyone going soft. That's a terrible idea. Amara Keen, thank you very much for the follow, mate. And Jew, welcome to the channel, mate. Taxfoot follows.
Caution.
Oh, I thought for a minute it was going to be one the Ferrari, but no, it's not. It's just Théo Pourchaire parked up there on the inside. Oh, I got all excited for a minute, thinking we might be gaining another place. We're not. In fact, here probably comes George again. Well, he might not, you know. I might have just enough battery to make my speed advantage. Not even speed advantage, but just to be fast enough down to the hairpin. George is going to be quick down here with battery and ERS. He's going to get me. I'm getting back around the outside of 2 though. Well, that's the plan anyway. He's going to slow up here. I'm going to go all the way around the outside. I'll be on his inside here. Try and get a better exit. Give him the room though. Same move again. George locked up there actually. And George has gone deep and lost himself a couple of positions there. Russell is now fallen behind both Aston Martins. You didn't quite see what happened there. As I made the move to George's inside, he's going to lock up his front right, I think. It's both tyres. And slot in behind both Aston Martins in front of Max Verstappen. Thanks for that, George. It sucks for the team, but it's good for me. Although now it's the questionably faster Fernando Alonso in the definitely faster Aston Martin at this stage of the season. That's going to be the one attacking me. So I might have been better off having my teammate behind. Although we were able to hold off the Aston Martin in the early stages of the race. But obviously tyre wear now is much higher for me. 25% that front left after 13 laps or so. And you can see how close the Aston Martin is. That close.
Keep on him, he might make a mistake.
He might. He might not, but sometime within DRS I should be hopefully in with a shout of still getting a top 3 in this sprint race by the end of lap 19. So slow around here.
The pace is strong, but be aware these tyres need to go the distance. The car behind's gaining on you by 0.5 a lap.
God.
Here's some information on Russell for you. They've
Oh,
got
no.
some kind of mechanical problem.
Not only did George lock up and throw away the position, he's now got an issue with his car and he's going to be slow. What was looking like a really decent sprint race for Mercedes is now, well, not. I'm going to be faster than Stroll here and we will gain on Fernando, but George is going to get mugged, I think, by Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri. Whether he falls back as far as the Hasses in that next train, I don't know. It's Haas RB there. But certainly, George is going to be in trouble. He's got Max Verstappen right behind him and probably past him by the time we get to turn 1. George has held on. I don't quite know how, but George has held on. Fucking rear traction is just awful. I think it's going to be P4 for us here. I don't know why my tyre wear is so high in China compared to everybody else. Like, why have I got 20% more tyre wear? I know my front left takes a punishing, but 20%? Not 20% more, surely. I was reading chat. Tom and his lab report. Yeah, that sucks. Squid Game 2, thank you for the subscription on YouTube.
Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake, use overtake.
Three laps
Okay,
to
so
go.
we're leading our teammate by 4.8 seconds.
Of course, Fernando defensive through the hairpin. But not been able to get any sort of switchback. I'll try and get him around one here. We've got 2 laps to go. So I need to. They're going to be very fast on the final lap. So I need to get the move done sooner rather than later, really. Losing the rear end like that just isn't helping. Oh! Rear tyres are the bane of my existence at the minute around this bloody Chinese circuit. Getting the power down is so tough. Every time I think I've got a slight advantage, I go and put the power down maybe a couple of meters too soon, literally only a couple of meters. And I end up not quite getting the traction I need to make the advantage that I have in the moment. I need to get Fernando at the end of this straight, really. So I'm going to drain the battery here. And we're going for it into the hairpin. If I could get it done before the hairpin, that would be ideal. Try and save some ERS as well for the defence. Down the main straight. Need to go deep on the brakes to try and get it done all the way around the outside. It is not done yet. But we forced Fernando wide and we got DRS there. Because he was just ahead of me through the detection point. And Stroll has actually taken his teammate there. He's now having a look at me into turn 1. But we know that we're going to have the advantage here because they're quite slow at this apex. So he's going to back out of it there. I just have to make sure now that I have enough battery left at the end of this lap to be able to defend into the hairpin. And we have a 3rd place finish in the sprint, potentially in the bag. I'm certainly more glad that it's Stroll behind me, not Alonso. Verstappen and Verstappen and Piastri have both gotten George Russell here now with George's issue. So, and in fact, actually, Piastri's gotten Verstappen too. George is in no man's land at the minute. I need to get through these next couple of corners as cleanly as possible. I haven't done there. This one's the more important though. I've got a lot of battery here and I'm going to have to use it. He's got a run on me. I'm going to try and break the toe as best I can. But there he goes up the inside. Lance Stroll. Just kind of parks it. And again, I can't get the power down. Stroll's going to have me here. it's just not quite enough. P4's still decent, but fair play, Lance.
Take care of the car
You've
on the
earned that. It was a good move. I didn't quite get the entry onto the long straight right with traction, which has been an issue for me all weekend long so far, but P4's not bad. And hopefully with strategy and pit stops, etc., we'll be more competitive with the Ferrari and in the main race. And also, if I'd have been able to have a better start to that race and not gotten quite so caught out by my teammate, then maybe would have been closer to the Ferrari anyway. Right, fresh parts in the car, and then to main qualifying. Fresh parts in the car to main qualifying. An extra couple of ticks of rearing would help, Tom, in terms of traction, but
Welcome along to qualifying in China. After a few years
I'd then be
absent
even
from the
slower in the
calendar,
straight,
it
which is just
great to
not
be back here.
a good
Just who
trade-off.
is going to put their car on pole?
The rain actually didn't come, did it? That's probably key to point out. We're hard tyre from the sprint. I can use here. I'm just going to go out. Just going to go out the end of the session on the soft. We'll have a brand new hard set available for the race. We won't really want to touch the softs. It might well be a two-stop race, but medium hard is better than medium hard soft or hard medium.
All set.
There
We're
goes
ready
George.
to go.
I shall
Let's
follow
get
him.
the car out onto the track.
Someone in the comment section of the RTG saying, just play the game like a normal person would. No. No, thank you.
And we've been pushed down to P20.
don't need is to get stuck behind Nico Hulkenberg, actually. We'll back off a little bit here. Let Nico go so we don't catch him during the lap. See what we can do! Come on then. Progression here should be pretty straightforward, just as it was in sprint quali. Although if the car is going to throw itself about like that on the way into turn 1, maybe not. About 3 different turn-ins there, even though I didn't do anything different with the steering. Transition from mechanical grip to aero grip was a bit janky there. I get the tiniest hint of a slipstream off Nico Hulkenberg here.
We've dropped to P20.
And 29.8 is the fastest lap we've done so far this weekend. 7th. Is it 29.8 the fastest lap we've done this weekend? Did it do a 29.1 or something in... Yeah, it might have done a 29.1 in Q3. In SQ3. Alright, 29.8 is good enough for P7 here. Any shock exits? George is in P2. No, both Williams, both Alpine, and a Red Bull. Off we pop to Q2. Thanks for the follow, Teta Manolo. Welcome to the channel, mate. Probably going to have to go better than a 29.8. I should probably do a banker lap, but I won't bother. Just in case we need a set of soft tyres for the race at the last minute. Try and make sure most of the tyres have as much wear as possible. Yeah, going to need to be very quick here.
Okay, when you're ready, let's go.
Not sure how confident I am of getting close to the options here.
Right, that's us pushed down into P15.
Yeah, it wasn't my track in the sprint race though, didn't it? 4th place. Need to make sure that we're closer to the Ferrari. As the seasons have gone by, we've actually been less and less competitive here. Seemingly. Oh, that's a terrible start to the lap. Hopefully saving our form for the main race, yeah. I still... It's been such a habit for so long. I don't know as I actually rely on the racing line that much. It's not necessarily the racing line I'm after, it's the braking points. I know what the line is. It's ensuring that I brake in the right place. That's why I have the racing line on for. Because at some parts of some tracks, you actually take a different line to the one that the racing line recommends. Right, need to be in the mid-29s, I think, here, just to make sure. If we can, of course. Which we can, a 29.5. 29.5 will do nicely. 7th, though, again. They have stepped it up from sprint qualifying here, the AI. And even with my fresher, more powerful parts, I'm not as competitive. Pierre Gasly, Max Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, and Sergio Perez out. So Zhou Guanyu in the Sauber, his home Grand Prix, is through to Q3. GG, sir. And Carlos Sainz has pulled a lap out the bag there as well. We'll do a banker lap here. This one. Mowing the lawn. But the gardener's not here. As far as I'm aware. So that's weird. Sorry, just seeing your message in the YouTube chat, Faz. I don't think we'll be finishing the Bradford season today, no. If we do, it's unlikely, but we'll absolutely be finishing Season 1 of Bradford tomorrow on stream. If we don't do it today. It's just about to grab, it's fine. It's not a problem, don't worry. Beep, 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 beep. Right.
Checks complete.
There are a
Everyone be
couple of
aware,
drivers
we've
that
got a car
haven't
leaving
gone
the
out
garage.
here, I don't think. So they might be at risk slightly of not getting the position they hope they might on this qualifying session. It's the RB of Tsunoda and the McLaren of Lando Norris, who is currently P1, if I show you the race director. Lando is not going out again. Currently has a 29 flat, 0.044. We know for a fact that George Russell and Charles Leclerc and presumably Lewis Hamilton as well will be able to get into the 28s here. So Lando will not start P1. If he does start P1, then we've all had a pretty poor showing in Q3. We will try and get close to that 29 flat, if possible. But I definitely don't have a 28 in me. That is absolutely sure. Absolutely certain. Even if he didn't have a fresh set of softs, he'd still probably go out though. So he must be saving it for the race. He and Yuki. Here we go. Got a wheel spin. This is not a pole lap, I'll tell you that much for free right now. Charles Leclerc with a 28.5. Alright, Mr. Leclerc. Chill. Give the rest of us a chance, will you? Christ. Stroll has done a 29.3 in P6. So if I want to be top 6, I need to be very low 29s. And that is not how you end a lap in China. It's 29.2, but it's not really good enough. It's P5. It's maybe a tenth in the final turn there. That was really not very well taken. So I was trying to carry as much speed as I could have done through there. I don't think I would have had enough to get into the top 4, though, judging by that. Charles Leclerc, outrageous lap. 28.5, 5 tenths faster than anybody else. Lando does get a P2 and saves potentially a set of softs for the Grand Prix as well. Well, if we can do things right tactically and have a better start, then there is a podium on the board here for us in this one. But the win, I think, might well be Charles's again. He's so strong in that Ferrari again for the second season in a row. The game just has him on another level. Even Lewis Hamilton is down in 6th. The rain in the sprint race didn't come at the end, did it? So I wonder whether the rain in the main race will or won't do the same.
It's time again then for Formula One in Shanghai. Northwest of the thriving city of over 24 million people is a circuit that first featured in the championship calendar back in 2004. It played host to Formula One's 1000th Grand Prix back in 2019. Shanghai International Circuit then is a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how
I don't know if there's going to be anyone in the top few that's going to have a penalty here.
Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc.
The fact that Charles doesn't have anyone in front of him means he's probably going to, like he did in the sprint. I don't see Lando Norris being able to keep pace with him, really. I start 4th, though, so there are penalties. George Russell being one of them. Well, he did have a failure of some description, didn't he, in the sprint race, had an issue. Verstappen and Piastri, well, it's a big penalty. Russell down 10 places to 14th. Big penalty for George Russell. That sucks for the team. It sucks for him. Théo Pourchaire takes a pen as well after his retirement in the last race. In the sprint, sorry. So, what's the strategy here? Medium hard. Makes sense to me. Apparently, I'm 14 seconds slow. So, it was a 19 lap. I'm probably going to end up having to do a two stop here. What's everyone else doing? Out of curiosity. Lando on hards. I would be tempted to go to the hard and start on the hard, but I don't know as I'd have the pace. So I'm probably going to end up... Let me edit this strategy slightly. Change that to... I don't have... What? I should have another set of hards. Okay, good. So because I used the... let me revert strategy. I should have had another set of hards available, but because of the way the sprint weekend works, it's just offered me mediums or hards for the sprint rather than medium and softs for the sprint. I anticipated having an extra set of hard tyres for the race, which I don't have available. Bugger. So it will be a medium hard race unless there's a safety car or something happens, but those softs are not going to last very well at all. But 63 laps worth of fuel in the car, that's 7 laps worth of extra fuel. I think starting on the mediums is the right call because we don't know how long the mediums will last at the end of the race. So, being on the medium to start with, being as competitive as possible, boxing early for a hard set, and then hoping they last till the end is probably the call. This might well be a little bit painful, but we'll do our best. We'll aim for a podium. Chat, where will I finish? P3 or higher? P4 or lower? You have 5 minutes to vote with your channel points whilst I have a quick toilet break. BRB. What are we predicting then? Morning, Tozzy. How are we, lad? We are predicting... Well, there's 40 seconds to go. Ooh! A lot of channel points spent. And it's... 33%. 66% at the moment. 100,000 channel points spent on P4 or lower. 150,000 channel points spent on P3 or higher. How many of you are involved there? I'm not sure until it times out. Someone may have gone big. 12 seconds to have your vote. Before we show you who's put their money where their mouth is. Let's see. So Seeks has faith that we will get a podium. 95,000 channel points from Seeks on yes, I will get a podium. 30,000 from Nick, 15,000 from Ben. On the other side, 60k from Tom that I won't, 40,000 from F1 Gamer that I won't, and Ashley and Scotty Dogs just hedging their bets a little. Oh, that's a great way to have a day, isn't it, Tozzy? Always nice when someone compliments you on your work, isn't it?
Okay, so everything looks good on the power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
Right, it's got a message from that. So because of George's penalty, we are not starting on the racing line. We start on the dirty side of the grid. Which was actually... That was a great parking. Which was actually very good for George. If you remember. From P8 in the sprint race. But that was highly unusual. Tried a quick shift to second this time to see if it would work. It didn't. Lando on his hard tyres has lost the position to Alonso already. I'd like to drift left here, but there is a Ferrari there. Lewis Hamilton has positioned himself rather awkwardly there for me. Stroll is alongside, but I'll drift wide here and put him out of position. Right, I need to basically make moves as quickly as possible now. If we're to stand a chance of doing anything, we need to dispatch Lando, get past the McLaren on the hard tyre, and then get after Fernando and Charles. Because if they get too far into the distance, they're gone and we won't catch them, even with the pit strategy we hope is available to us because of the nature of my tyre wear here. But Lando will be slower on those hard tyres for sure.
Okay, the start was fine.
So we'll see what we can do. Obviously, if there is wet weather at the end, that throws a massive curveball into the equation. And we've absolutely no idea what will happen then. But I'm going to try and get past Lando as quickly as I can. I'm using a lot of battery here to try and close in on the McLaren. He's going to go defensive. I'm going to go and make an attempt to go around the outside of him here at the hairpin. And we are past him. That could be race critical. Although I'm then slow on the final turn.
DRS now enabled.
To use a lot of battery there. Lando, there is no room on that side of the track, mate. Right, let's try and stick with Fernando and Charles if we can. If we can get dragged along by Charles in the early stages of this race, then maybe there is the opportunity, but we're going to have to make sure we keep pace with Fernando as well. Please, 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 can I stay in DRS range of the two in front?
Experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible.
I think no is going to be the answer to that request. Might not be. I might just have been in DRS range there, actually. Please say I was. Please say I was. Yes! Vamos! Come on, then. Let's challenge for a race win, potentially, here in China. Even if I wasn't in DRS, those two battling would have brought me into the question anyway. Game on, gentlemen, game on.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Around the outside, around the outside, around the outside of Fernando Alonso, please. Don't turn into me, Nando. Good boy. Is he going to go defensive into 4? No, it's fine. Quite happy to just sit with these two at the minute if they drag us away from the group behind. To be fair, there's a bit of a gap at the minute between Lando in 5th and Lewis Hamilton in 6th, so the front 5 are just disappearing at the moment. But the fact that we're still in touch with Charles Leclerc means the race win is still potentially there for us. As soon as Charles Leclerc disappears down the road, that's when it's gone. Sheza, how are you, my dude? Just to clarify, because I wasn't sure which Braden it was on my Patreon. Sheza, if you cancelled your pledge, it's absolutely fine if you have. I'm just clarifying which Braden it is that's cancelled their VIP pledge. But you're right. Nobody should be calling for the sacking of Arsenal. Sacking of Arsenal, sacking of Arteta. That's just silly talk. But you're not going to be the only frustrated Arsenal fan at the minute. Oh, I see. No, no worries then. In which case, I will adjust my spreadsheet accordingly. That said the 7th previously. I'll change that green again. Not a problem, mate. Just wanted to clarify. Oh, a lock-up from Fernando or Charles. Not sure which. Fernando didn't have a go at Leclerc there, so maybe it was he that locked up his tyres. Stroll and Norris still very much part of this question for who's going to win this Grand Prix. I think Fernando is probably firmly in the get dragged along by Charles camp along with me at the minute. Lance Stroll was able to get the better of us on the last lap of the sprint race. I'm very much hoping to avoid a certain similar scenario in the main Grand Prix. That scenario might be for a sprint or for a full race victory, potentially. I don't think we're going to be able to deal with the pace of Charles longer term. But provided Fernando is still here, costing him time by battling with him, if I can get an undercut by a couple of laps, it could be very, very helpful indeed to open up a bit of a gap, and then they fight, slow each other up, and I can maintain that gap. That's my current aim. But Lando might... The fact that we're all dragging Lando along here is huge for Lando as well with those hard tyres. He's going to be in a fantastic position at the end of the race. Lando's going to be very quick. Just depends on what tyre he's on and what strategy he's on. Because if he's on a 2-stop, it's not the one. If he's on a 1-stop and he's hard mediuming rather than hard softing, sorry, hard medium harding. If he's hard mediuming rather than medium harding, then he's in a great position. Alonso got Leclerc there on the exit of the final corner, and I'm now, hopefully, going to go around the outside of Alonso to take the lead the Grand Prix here, which we have done. Charles Leclerc is no longer dragging anybody along because he's in 3rd. We lead the Chinese Grand Prix. Probably not for long, but we'll enjoy it whilst we're here. We're going to be boxing much sooner than lap 25, I can tell you that much for free. %10 wear on the front left after 5 laps. There's no way I take that front left to 50% wear. Not a chance. We'll probably look to box 22, maybe even earlier. We know the medium will take us as far as lap 19, but that was with a third of the race fuel that we've got on board now. This is a tough one to figure out. Just going to enjoy being in first for the time being. Try not to think about the bigger picture. Just drive as fast as I can to get to that pit stop. And then we see what the strategy looks like once we've boxed. I think to Flavic and Mbermo. I mean, Flavic would be massive. I think Dushan would do a great job in the Prem. And everybody knows how good Mbermo is, but I don't know where Mbermo fits in your squad longer term. One's just having a look at DRS and ERS obviously down the straight. I need to not battle, really. If we're to open up any gap on any one of the 5 behind us, we need to not battle, but unfortunately, well, you're going that side, Fernando. You've driven into me there, sir, is what you've done. I need to just avoid battling, to avoid losing any time. Because that group behind with Lewis Hamilton will close if we battle too much, and then this 5-way fight for a win becomes a 7 or 8-way fight for the win, which is not something that we can afford to happen. You reckon Umbermo starts ahead of Martinelli? That's what we get for reading chatches. You are right, Martinelli's form has been quite poor recently. Taking the racing line, Fernando. Don't want to battle with you, Fernando. Just trying to get to the pit stops as fast as possible, Fernando. It's not worth it, mate. Let's work together to stop Charles Leclerc winning the race, shall we? Fernando gets me here. There's no question about it whatsoever. Okay, Fernando doesn't get me here. He elected to just stay behind me. It's an intriguing decision. Oh, I'm really slow there now. Not sure what Fernando's doing here, other than not driving very well.
Okay, mate, we want to make sure we're saving some ERS, so let's try and charge it up now.
Colin Moani to Spurs. I saw people link Colin Moani to Chelsea in live chat recently. At least to Spurs would be an intriguing one.
Nice work, you smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target,
Have
mate.
West Ham actually sacked Lopetegui? Is he gone? No, I didn't think so. Osimhen to Chelsea's been a strong link for a while, hasn't it? having another look. Then hopefully giving that up. Good boy. They cancelled Lopetegui's press conference. It's normally a bit of an ominous sign, isn't it, really? Had a weird bump there on this straight that I'm not used to hitting. Lando's going to tuck in again. This is going well enough so far. Lewis is now starting to get a bit of a gap on the Haas. He's probably broken DRS there, and he's going to try and close in on Lando. Not even try to, he will close in on Lando. So the 5 has become a 6. The quintet becomes a sextet. In the fight for a race victory here, I really want to know what Lando Norris's strategy is. I'm particularly curious to see if he's going to go hard medium. If he does, he's going to be very fast at the end, but he's going to have quite a bit of distance to catch up, because he's not going to be that great going long on those hards whilst we're on fresh hards. Managing it so far after 10 laps. But at some point my tyres are going to give up before theirs do. Lopetegui took training, but had his press conference cancelled. That is odd. Tristan, thank you for the follow, mate. Oh dear. Who's Steiden, TT? Can't say as I know the name. Oh, because the recruitment's not been good enough. Technical director at West Ham. Who've been the flops at West Ham? Who've they... Whoa! Luton of Sax Robert was no surprise, really. Oh, 200 million on some big flops. I don't think of anyone's West Ham signed that's flopped. Skamaka wasn't great, I guess, if that was a Lopetegui signing. And no plans to watch the game tonight, Mikey. We'll keep the lead here, it's fine. I'll have DRS, Fernando. He'll be slow around turn 1. He's not a problem.
Car in front is a second a lap faster. 1 second.
Huh. think on lap 12 we are now at the point where my tyre wear is holding me back. Everyone else is genuinely considerably faster than me at the minute.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
The gap to Lando is getting smaller and smaller each lap. Only by like a minuscule amount. But Lando's normally about 1.7 seconds behind. And he keeps coming to about 1.2 or 3. And that's with 3 cars between us as well. I've just got to hang on as long as I can. Medium tyres, please get me to at least lap 22. I'm begging you. Gotta give players more than one season to bed in though. You can't expect full crew to just come across from the Bundesliga and immediately score 30 goals. Guillermo, I don't understand. I don't know whether he's been injured or what. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Mikey. 20 million on Somerville's not a massive amount, though, is it? Let's be honest. These days, 20 million quid's not the sort of fee that you sack a manager over. Ward-Prowse has been fine. Mavropanos has been fine. Thank you for the follow, Triton Simo, as well. Welcome to the channel, mate. Ward-Prowse set up a goal for someone the other day. Was that not a West Ham? No, he's at Forest, isn't he? Ward-Prowse is at Forest. It's not that Ward-Prowse isn't good enough. Ward-Prowse is absolutely good enough. If they're not playing him, then that's on them, not him. If West Ham didn't play him and then sent him out on loan, then that's on them, not him. He's absolutely good enough. Where is the game tonight? Alonso's just got too much DRS pace for me there. It's not the first time he's got himself in front during this opening stint.
Come on, you can
Sure, it
win
won't be
that
the
pace
last.
back.
But provided we can keep ourselves in DRS range and the tyres hang on around turn 1,
You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Let's keep pushing.
we should be able to keep taking P1 back again. In exactly this manner. Not the first time we've done it. Won't be the last time we do it. Drifting a little bit wide just to give Fernando a bit of warning. He's actually held on quite nicely there, and that's because my tyres are now probably have had too much. I'll take it back again. Thank you very much. It's good scrapping. It's costing us time compared to everybody else, but let's be honest, everybody from Lewis backwards, or everywhere behind Lewis, isn't going to be catching us regardless whether we're scrapping or not. But we're in a position where if I was at the back of this train, or if everybody was in clear air, we'd probably fall further behind. Because I'm at the front of it, I'm able to at least try and hold everybody else up, which is where I desperately need that undercut. I need to stay in front of everybody after the pit stops to stand a chance of winning. Thank you for the bits, Ashley. Austria's not a bad place to take a penalty, to be fair. Definitely plenty of overtaking opportunities there. That's not great. Try and break the toe a little bit, but easier said than done. Not that they need to break the toe. Yeah, Emil Smith-Rowe's been great for Fulham, hasn't he? Fulham are having a really good season. At first glance, I just saw Saliba head João Pedro, so it was understandable that it was given as a penalty. People were saying that in the replays they saw that the ball hit Saliba first before Saliba made contact with João Pedro, in which case then it shouldn't have been a penalty. But I haven't seen a replay to be able to give an accurate opinion. Or at least a well-educated opinion, anyway.
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
Grip levels falling away soon when we're on lap 17 isn't great. I already need to try and make it to probably as close to lap 25 as I can.
It's
not looking good, Brev.
13.7 seconds.
Our tyre wear is going to probably stop us from winning this Grand Prix. I don't know whether my undercut would actually work. I think these guys are just going to be quick enough to be able to deal with my undercut. I basically just need to stay in front as long as physically possible. And then box, hope that it's a clean pit stop, and then try and replicate what we've done in this first stint in the second. Lando is probably going to be a bit of an issue at the end. Don't rule Lando Norris out from a really solid Grand Prix victory here today. We qualified... Oh, hang on. For your reference, Daniel, in the sprint we qualified third. In the Grand Prix we qualified fifth, but started fourth with a penalty. Well, fourth because George Russell had a penalty, effectively. Yeah, we finished fourth in the sprint. Yeah, it's the final position that matters most to you, isn't it? Rear tyres are done. The rear tyres are toast.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 15.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in 13th place. Your last lap time,
13.
1 minute 36.2.
George is having a tough time making his way through the pack, isn't he? Started 14th, has made one position so far, and he's stuck in a train. Very F124-esque for nobody to be making any moves in either of the trains, other than those two at the front of said train. Really desperately hope that the AI are better in F125, because it's so predictable on 24. It's better than it was at launch, but it's still really not great. This is going to be 20 laps completed, 40% on the front left. Oh god! This is really difficult, but so far so good. is the gap starting to... Never mind, let's come back down. Why is the gap starting to open up behind? Reading Nick's message in chat. No, we just made overtakes. Nick, that's why we're P1. We've been holding on to the lead since about lap 6-ish, maybe longer. Fighting very, very hard with DRS to manage the gap to those behind. I say manage the gap, just to stay in front, basically. They are faster than me, but because I can be aggressive at the right parts of the circuit, I'm able to maintain the position, because F124 AI is F124 AI. An RB behind is retiring into turn 1, which could cause chaos, but it looks like everybody's managed to make it past them cleanly. And it was the lead RB as well, I think. So I think that's Yuki Tsunoda retiring from the race here. Find out momentarily. No, it's Pierre Gasly. I had a 50-50 chance. A safety car might have been quite handy. No, actually, no, you know what? Probably not. Maybe, because they might have stayed out. Nah, might not have changed anything. Might not have changed anything at all. I went through about 7 different scenarios in my head there and came with the exact same end result. Probably good that there wasn't a safety car. Nana's going to have another go here because the top end is faster than mine. Again, we'll go deep on the brakes. Try and hang it around the outside. Get as good a traction on the way out of that turn as possible. Hold on to the position, tip in front of him again for the last turn, and stay in front. We've so far managed to make it as far as lap 23. And we'll do our old hang it around the outside into turn 1. There you go. Thank you. P1 still. I'm going to try and make it as far as lap 25, which is when the scheduled pit stop was. They will stop on 27. But we're stopping 25 because of our high tyre wear. It's what was suggested by the team prior to the race. And that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do in the Grand Prix as well. We will take on board their advice. That didn't last very long, did it? We'll take on board their advice. Try and make it to 25 with a very, very worn set of tyres. And hope then that the hard tyres take me to the end and that we can win the race. I am effectively leader of a train of very frustrated drivers behind me at the minute. Still don't know what Lando's going to do.
lap, in this lap. Push now.
Yep, agreed.
Confirmed. We'll
Right, I'll
receive
tell them
you
I'll
at the
box
end of
this lap. What I'm tempted to do is not use any ERS or use minimal ERS down the straight, so that I have quite a bit of it available for my out lap.
Box this lap. Keep an eye on
I don't
your
mind if
speed
Alonso
and
gets me,
as you approach and make sure
because
you
that
don't
means he
see-
won't have DRS down the main straight. So if he wants to take me here, he's more than welcome to. He won't have DRS down the main straight because he'll be the first through the detection point. I've not really lost any time there. I'm going to have to be careful here though, because he's going to dip to the left and I'm going to go straight on. That was close.
You might make a mistake and we could still regain the position.
And we are into the box for our one and planned only stop of the race. Please be 2.5 seconds.
Okay,
2.4. Oh my god.
Fantastic.
Thank you,
stop.
gents.
Faster than-
Right, now some have made a stop already. And they are 3 stopping. Medium, soft, or soft from those behind. Max started on the hards and is running 12th after starting 11th, so not having a great Grand Prix. George is now up to 11th, but only because some in front of him have boxed. I'm the first of the front runners to dip in. I really don't know what Lando's doing. Both McLarens actually are on the hard tyre
We were
here.
expecting.
So if I get out, I was going to say, if I get out in front of Tsunoda, I might be able to ask about the McLaren to have an idea. I need to
That was our last
try and get
stop.
out in front of the
No more scheduled
Sauber,
pit stops. Let's go.
which we have been able to do. Now, getting DRS for some of the back markers will be good, but I then need them to not hold me up, because Fernando Alonso has been unleashed now, and the rest of that train will be very fast. So I need to use my battery as best I can on this lap to ensure we have a really solid out lap.
Use your overtake button.
Don't get
more.
held
It's
up by
time to
Max
utilise some
Verstappen.
of this energy. Come on.
And make as much time as possible with fresh tyres and a full battery. These fresh tyres do feel a bit slippery though, if I'm honest. Come on, Max. Put your foot down, lad. Oh god, they're so slippery at the rear.
Okay, so all of our tyre pressure
Oh,
data
good.
is currently reading 0. Assuming they still look inflated to you, we're going to guess that it's just a bad sensor.
So
Shouldn't be
we'll
anything to
get
worry
Max
about.
with DRS here. And that should hopefully make up for the loss of time we had stuck behind him. It'll be a very, very simple overtake, as most tends to be down here into the hairpin. Like we say, we're anticipating everyone else in the front few stopping on lap
Brilliant, nice move. Keep
27. As one of the Saubers has boxed there now. Hopefully Fernando and Charles fight a little bit on the 2 laps that I've not been in front of them and cost themselves a little bit of time. We should hopefully be close enough to get DRS off George by the end of this lap. In fact, we're definitely going to be close enough to get DRS off George by the end of this lap. And then they should hopefully both box and get out of the way. And I'll have DRS to just take free lap time. But I'm not getting held up at all here by the 2 in front, because they were just far enough away that we're going to take the DRS and then they'll be in the way. If George can get Checo, and we can get Checo, that would be huge. But 9 tenths to Sergio Perez, I don't think it's going to happen. Is Checo going to go defensive at all? He's not. So I'm going to have to just take the loss of time around here. They are in the box now. They're going to go straight on here, though. So I will get DRS off them. I've just got to get out in front of Fernando,
George is in the pits,
which we've done.
now.
We've maintained the lead of the Grand Prix, or the net lead of the Grand Prix. And Fernando's come out behind Max as well, so we have a 3-second gap to Fernando Alonso now. They'll, of course, close that up, but now we just need to replicate in this stint what we did in the first stint, and hopefully the race win will be there for us. It would be massive for our championship hopes and ambitions. If we can get a race win, would be even better if Charles Leclerc doesn't finish second. And I'm going to do that bit again. Even better if Charles Leclerc doesn't finish second. Immediate cut. Right, Tsunoda will be simple. Now, Verstappen obviously isn't going to box anytime soon, but it should be as easy an overtake for them as it was for me to get past Max. And Alonso is through, so I'm not anticipating Max actually holding anyone up that badly. Stroll's in the box now, as is Charles Leclerc. It was actually Lewis that boxed first time around, which was intriguing. Surprised that Lewis was the Ferrari they brought in first. He's not going to undercut his teammate, though. Actually, he is going to undercut his teammate. That's brave from Ferrari, or very, very controversial from Ferrari, depending on which way you choose to look at it. Ferrari boxed the second Ferrari first. He's now undercut his teammate, who is the World Championship leader. And they're all in a train. Lewis and Verstappen fighting now. Gap to Alonso will come down, and he'll be with me within 5 laps or so, I would imagine. And now it's the two McLarens that are out in front, first and second. We are third, running in net first. We just have no idea when they're going to come in.
The car ahead, 5.8
McLarens.
seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, they're on 28 lap old tyres. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap, 1:36.0.
Probably
You're taking 2.5 seconds.
2.5 seconds a lap, wow. They probably box. Now? Yeah. Lando's in. That was a shout and a half, Jez. And Oscar will box next lap. So Lando's in, but Lando will absolutely lose loads of time here compared to the rest of the train. And I don't think hard medium was the way round to do this, unless he's so quick on those medium tyres he's able to get up to the back of the train. But in rather typical F124 fashion, I think even if he's on the faster tyre, he'll just sit at the back of the train and not make any inroads into it. Fernando, 3 seconds the gap. He will catch me. It's just a question of whether the Ferrari join him or not. Probably yes, by the time Alonso gets to me, gets stuck behind me, and then the Ferrari join and sit behind. But we're effectively using the AI this year to our advantage here, knowing that they're not going to be that aggressive in the overtake, hoping that if we can just hold off one car, then we can hold off the whole train.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes.
Right.
Time. Rain in 10 minutes.
That changes things. That's completely thrown everything I just said out the window. The timing of that radio message was Superb for entertainment purposes, absolutely shite for me. Rain on the way. Bugger. And there goes Oscar Piastri into the pits. So we now have the lead of the race back again. But Fernando Alonso is coming. Lando has already made it past one Ferrari and will be after Lewis. And there's enough of a gap between each driver at the minute that Lando will look to make overtakes. Lando will take Lewis Hamilton. Lando will take Fernando Alonso, provided Alonso hasn't caught me and or the rain hasn't arrived yet. And then Lando will come for me. This is taken on a completely different concept now. And that's even before the rain arrives. Inter's next, please. But when we go to them, no idea. If we go to them, no idea. You presume so. Struggling enough for traction in the dry, let alone when the wet arrives. Oh, bugger. Might be Lando past Lewis here into the hairpin. Keep an eye on that Delta top left. You might see McLaren jump in front of a Ferrari. You do. Alonso's taking about half a second to lap out of me at the minute. It's not looking good, Brev. Not looking good at all. Is that what I think it is, Sheza? Lando is past Alonso. The McLaren is very much on a charge to setting the fastest lap of the race. That lap was about a second faster than I just went. Lando will probably catch me by the end of this lap. Lando Norris is in prime position to win this Grand Prix now. Bugger. True, at least it's not Charles. Charles is currently 5th. Lando will have DRS on me here. There's not even any point in fighting this. I might as well just save my battery and try and hang on to Lando as best I can. If I can. In an ideal world, Lando would get past before Fernando gets within DRS range. So that I can... Geez, he's 1.7 seconds faster than us that lap. I can leech off the back of Lando and hope that Fernando can't leech off the back of me. But given Lando's pace thus far on these medium tyres, even though we're right behind him now, I don't think we're within a second of him by the time we get to the DRS zone. Lando is going to disappear now into the distance, and him able to run the hard medium stop strategy, tucked up behind me in that first stint, not losing any time because the others weren't able to maximise their medium tyres, is going to, I think, win Lando Norris this Grand Prix. I've inadvertently cost myself first place by being in first place. I think I got TRS. I did. It's huge. I did. It's huge. I need to save my battery so I can stick with Lando for the rest of the lap next time around. Lando, take me with you, mate. Let's disappear into the sunset together on a nice romantic cruise to a 1-2. Of course, as soon as the inters come out, everything changes. We've no idea what's going to happen then.
You're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
I'm only going to be able to utilise DRS on Lando for that one lap. He will leave me in his wake now. Now we either hope that the rain doesn't affect things too much and we ease to a hopefully straightforward P2, or we hope that the rain really throws things into chaos and we're able to get a victory. Now, as you quite well know, we are more than likely going to be slower in the rain competitively than we are in the dry. So any chances of a podium hang in the balance now when that rain arrives. Lando will win this Grand Prix. Metro Police has provided a full file of evidence about a London-based Premier League footballer accused of to the Crown Prosecution, so detectives are pushing for charges to be pushed now. Yeah, feel free to Google it, chat. We won't dwell on it here, but thank you for the information. All good, thank you, Connor, mate. How are you, my man? Anyway. When do you think the rain's coming, chat? Give me a lap number. I can ask about it in a moment to give you a bit more information. Yeah, on the plus side, a brand new RTG episode just went live, so let me tweet that out. Manchester United are prepared to seal Amad Diallo's new contract. Oh, Norwich have recalled Vinny Reyes. From Cambridge. He made 23 appearances for Cambridge this season, keeping 5 clean sheets, and now returns to Norwich with immediate effect. Hopefully that means we've got a new goalkeeper coming in. I have heard a rumour, but I won't divulge. Because I think it's pretty reliable information from a source that would want to remain unnamed. But if I said I know what it is, then they would get outed, if you know what I mean. Pardon me. Last to third. Go on, Ash. Thank you for the follow, Bugsy. Told you Austria was a good track for overtaking and a good place to take your penalties. You have well and truly pulled through there, mate.
Okay, mate. Right, we've got some clear track in front of us, so let's make best use of it and make the next lap a quick one. You got this.
It will be, don't worry. Well, it'll be quick compared to your parameters anyway. Let's ask about the weather, shall we?
We think we might see some rain. ETA about 15 minutes.
Oh.
Tyres definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
So the rain is further out than previously thought. 15 minutes to the rain now. It was 10 minutes 5 minutes ago. That's weird. The longer the rain holds off, the bigger the chance that Lando's medium tyres lose pace. And he maybe comes back towards us a bit. But it is a hell of a maybe. But now we've had that ETA 15 minutes, we'll get a message in a couple of minutes that will say rain's coming in 5 minutes time.
Really good job with that target, mate.
You can see the clouds building. It's not that far away. Yellow flag behind. Someone's going slowly. It might be Lewis Hamilton. It's Fernando Alonso. Oh, yes! Alonso retires from behind us, and we have a 5-second gap to those in third and beyond. The immediate threat to our P2 has been removed.
Starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres.
And I'm hoping
We won't be making another pit
that the
stop.
Ferrari will battle with Stroll. That said,
Gap to your teammate behind.
it's Leclerc and Stroll.
29.9 seconds.
So Leclerc will most likely dispatch of Lance Stroll and zip up to the back of me, because he's dropped his teammate from DRS range and undoubtedly will drop Lance Stroll very soon as well. Well, that's one less driver to potentially overtake us when the rain comes, isn't it? And Leclerc is past Stroll already. That didn't take long. Yeah, I'm sure engine went bang. Ben, you're spot on, mate. Stroll and Leclerc are fighting. Yes! It's taken them back into Lewis Hamilton. Yes! The gap's gone from 4.3 seconds to 6 seconds. Yes! Keep scrapping, lads. Keep scrapping.
The rain's a few lap outs yet, but it is coming, so be careful.
There's the lap outs message. Means rain is very much on its way soon. Stroll is being passed now. Leclerc is set free. I don't think Stroll manages to have a go into turn one. If he does, we're dreaming. He hasn't. We're not dreaming. Charles Leclerc will now come and get me. He's already half a second clear of Stroll. 6/10 clear of Stroll. 7/10 clear of Stroll. Charles Leclerc's on his way, gentlemen. Our P2 is now under more threat than it ever was before.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
It's getting very overcast now. Oh boy.
Watch the conditions. We think there's rain coming pretty soon. Be careful. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now.
I don't think I've heard that one before. Rain coming pretty soon. It's a new... Well, it's not necessarily a new line from Mark. It's certainly one I've not heard before. Or if we have had it before, I don't recall it. Just means that it's not far away now. The old wet stuff.
We're catching the car ahead. Well done. But be aware, these tyres need to get us to the end of this race.
They don't, because it's going to bloody rain, pal. I'm struggling for grip now as well. 20% front left. Struggling for rear grip too. As the temperatures come down and the track cools and the rain is on its way, it's becoming increasingly more difficult to maximise any sort of pace. Stroll and Hamilton are really fighting hard though, which is great for us, because you see they're already 11 seconds behind. So I'd go as far as to say, depending on the pace in the wet, we're definitely getting a podium. But it's more than likely going to be third, not first or second. Third is still decent. Third is still decent. Yeah, just saw it, Scott. I think I know who's coming in to replace him. But nothing confirmed yet. Lopetegui sacked now official, is it? There you go. We're waiting for that news as well, weren't we, really? I couldn't possibly comment, Scott. Raindrops. Drop top. Insert the rest of the song lyrics. Here comes the wet stuff. Yellow flag behind. Oh, it's Piastri. Nah. Not bothered by Piastri retiring. Doesn't really affect anything for our race or championship. It's good for the constructors, I guess. It's less points from McLaren. And actually, George has somehow, when he was stuck in 13th, has now managed to get himself up to 7th. How have you done that, Mr. Russell? You tell me, because I have no idea. Russell 7th, Max 8th, probably the the 2 stoppers, I would imagine, that will now become 3 stoppers because the rain's about to get here. All right, Oscar Piastri will promote George Russell into 6th, and it's not actually that bad a race weekend for Mercedes, all told. But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, Ron McLaren retiring, unfortunately. Portsmouth want rid of Will, do they? I can't remember whether the rain falls quickly in China or whether it doesn't. I think it doesn't get wet that quickly. But being in this part of the world, there is more possibility of a tsunami type scenario than there is in Europe. I mean, surely at some point we end up on the intermediate. But
Okay, I think
when?
still the right tyres for the time being.
I was just about to ask that question of you, Mark. But if you think we're still on the right tyre for now, I will trust you. I don't know why I'm trusting you, but I will. Oscar Piastri will be around here somewhere. I've gone past him. I've no idea where he was. He was around there somewhere. 7.5 seconds in front, 5 seconds behind. Will be 12 laps to go when we cross the line. Yeah, good, thank you, Kaya. How are you, mate? Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Just looking at the mini-map on the way into that corner. Not the best of ideas. Just maybe wait till the actual straight, huh? That's very rare. That's... Where are you racing at the minute? Okay, grip is going. Lando will be on the better tyre here in the medium. His are probably just as worn as ours right now. If not, maybe more so by this point. Probably not more so than mine, but maybe more so than the other hard runners. As we say, we've got very high tyre wear here, but at the minute, we have just enough grip to stay on the hard tyre.
I suggest this rain's going to keep getting stronger for at least the next 15 minutes. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
If the rain's going to get stronger, then I'd say we will be on the intermediates by the end of the Grand Prix. There's no chance of a double stack for anyone other than Ferrari, because one of the McLarens has retired, George is nowhere near me, and one of the Astons has retired. But there's enough of a gap between Charles and Lewis that there is really enough time to get a pit stop done for Charles.
Right, there's a big incident in front of you. Red flag, red flag. We'll update.
Red flag? What for? Random red flag. Oh. I just saw on the minimap. I literally just saw on the minimap. An Alpha... I've got no ability to go to a replay. Someone spun on the way into... on the way out of the second sector. You know that double left before the little straight and then the hard left? On the way towards the loopy long turn 13.
There's been an incident on track, but officials
will be,
looking to push for a safety car right now. Just okay.
There will be
a chance to take a breath.
full wet
Still a big opportunity
conditions, or rephrase, it's going to be wet conditions for 9 laps.
Okay. In just a
And we
moment,
start
stand by.
second. This has either made or ruined our chances of a strong podium finish. Charles Leclerc looks like he might just get me into turn 1. Now, I don't know how competitive we're going to be in these conditions at all. I can't cut across Charles there. He needs the room. He deserves the room. He's earned the room. Now we've cut across him. Right. Are we going to finish first, second, or 17th at this rate? Well, actually, can't finish any lower than 15th. So someone must have retired with damage then. Yuki must have spun, and Checo hit him, or Checo spun, and Yuki hit him. Don't know. They both retired with terminal damage though. And Esteban Ocon did hit Tsunoda, but has survived. There was a spin and there was a crash.
Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy.
God. It's got no grip. Cheers, Charles. Just drive into me, mate. Don't worry about it. so slippy. You see Lando's car just back end stepping on him constantly around that right-hander. Tyre wear is high on the Inters with 3% wear after less than a lap. But as the rain gets stronger, hopefully the amount of rear slippage we're getting will lessen and the Inters will become more and more the better tyre. But no one is yet showing that they've got more pace than anyone else at this stage. If I could get myself in front of Lando somehow,
You're increasing the gap on the car
maybe,
behind by 5/10 a lap.
maybe we have a chance. But the random red flag has now thrown everything into chaos. Was that 46, wasn't it? That the red flag happened, chat. So when we're on the way out of the race, rather than advance, we will go through the race replay, if it will let me, and have a look and see what happened between the Haas and the RB. Yeah, it might be. I did think that as with the fact there was a red flag. At least it took the dilemma of when to switch to Inters out of the question.
Keep managing your tyres, manage your tyres.
I think Lando's gone. George is now 5th, not 6th. He's been able to get Lance Stroll off the restart. So it's actually going to be a pretty decent haul of points for Mercedes here. It's obviously going to be a pretty decent haul of points with Ferrari as well.
Watch out for standing water.
We're nowhere near standing water yet, but we're nowhere near Lando either, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure the Ferrari are going to be on my tail for the rest of the race. I'm just going to have to hold them off for a P2 here, because I'm not going to get the win. Here comes Charles. I'm using all my battery, but for the minute I can't hold him off. And try and do so around the outside of the hairpin, and he has given it up. Thank you, Charlie. %8 wear on the rears now, 6 laps to go. Fuck's sake. Why? Why? There's no reason that my tyres should just lose traction there when they're going faster than me, and there's hold on with the same steering angle and more throttle input. Screw you, game.
Okay, I think we're still on the right tyres for the time being.
And now standing water is starting to become visible. And we are getting slower and slower and slower as each lap goes by. Oh, wide there.
Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake. Use
It's
overtake.
annoying. We just opened up more than a second's gap behind and close to almost within half a second of Lando. And then one mistake, it's just throwing that all away again. I think I just saw lightning. Surely not. It's definitely very wet now though. We're not in wet weather tyre conditions now.
Heavy rain will be with us for a while
But it is
now.
heavy rain
Inters are on
conditions.
the best tyre for now.
And Inters are definitely going to be the best tyre for the rest of the race. But braking points are changing every lap here.
Green flag.
Yellow flag's behind. Someone else. It says another spin, I think. It's Lance Stroll.
Okay, so
It's
that's
another
red
red flag. Oh my god. Lance Stroll has spun at the hairpin. 2 red flags.
Okay, there's been an incident
Oh
on
wow.
track resulting in
Another
debris.
opportunity to potentially get Lando Norris then. With more fresh Inters put on.
Get a nice advantage
No, it's full
here.
wets
So let's think
now.
about how we handle the rest of this race.
Is it though? Do I go Inters? I can't see the rain. It's a 2... We're starting on lap 55 and there's only a 56 lap Grand Prix. This decision will determine the entirety of our result. Do I start Inters or do I start full wets? I've absolutely no idea. It's telling me that the Inter is 2.5 seconds a lap slower, so I will go on to the wets. Chat is telling me to go on to the wets. We will go on to the wets.
I know deja vu here.
It's definitely wet weather.
Opportunity to get this start spot on. Come on.
We've got the start spot on. I'm using battery. I'm going to be in the lead. I'm in first. I'm in first place. Lance Stroll might have just won us this Grand Prix by binning it and causing a second red flag. The restart was superb. It was just what we needed. A little bit of short shifting as well.
With ERS mode,
2 laps.
MFC if you need to.
2 laps to hang on. Come on now. Concentrate, Ches. Get it done. Hamilton's in front of Leclerc as well. George is still 5th. Oh, please, Lord Jesus, can we win this Chinese Grand Prix? Lando's going to have a look. Try and hang it around the outside of him. It's worked for us as a technique thus far. This Grand Prix. It's worked there. Onto the final lap we go.
Okay, clear.
Yellow flag's behind. Another spin. I think there's another spin, but there can't be another red flag at this stage. Oh, it's Lewis Hamilton. No, it's Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc has spun. That's huge for the championship if Charles is going to lose all of his positions now. Charles Leclerc's not going to get any points. Max Verstappen, they're even reversing on the other side of the... They're reversing on the other side of the hairpin. Oh my God, what has happened at the end of this race? The red flags have caused absolute bedlam. Just got to hang on for this last lap, Ches. You've just got to hang on for this last lap. And if Lewis and Lando have a bit of a battle, that could earn us some time, although I definitely got on the throttle too early there. Is it going to be sprint race all over again, where I get done on the last lap and the run to the line? I hope not. We are on the last lap. We're very nearly at the run to the line. Me versus Lando versus Lewis. George is 8 seconds back in 4th now, as he had to avoid Charles Leclerc. Well, I have to just burn all of my battery down the straight. I've got no choice. No point saving any battery at this stage. Burn, baby, burn. Are we going to be having a Disco Inferno tonight in the Mercedes garage? Maybe not. Lando's got me. Burn, baby, burn. Give me that slipstream. Just outbrake him, but don't lose it, Ches. And the outside. It's worked again. Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, your Chinese Grand Prix winner for the second time in his career. Fucking me, mate!
Very lovely drive.
Get in! My first win for Mercedes in remarkable circumstances, with 2 red flags, multiple spins, big crashes for other drivers.
They showed true grit out there today, Crofty.
We've lucked into it.
Not to be
Lando was long gone when the rain was starting until the first red flag, but we took the advantage of the luck. That second race start on the full wets is what won us the Grand Prix, and battling hard at the hairpin all race long to ensure that we were able to hold on to P1.
And they certainly deserve it.
Yeah! Very, very pleased with that indeed. 100 bits from Millie saying, get in, thank you, Lance and Leclerc, indeed. Lewis might well take the championship lead here. It's not the first time we've lifted that trophy here in Shanghai. I will now go and have a look at the race replay and see if we can see what happened for the first red flag, if possible. If not, I shall see you back in the trailer. Oh, get in, boys. I'd rather you didn't spray me in the face though, Lewis, please. Thank you. Cheers, boys. Cheers, cheers, cheers. It's an all-British podium again.
Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action.
Replay. Right, we won lap 46, right? And we won Tsunoda. I can't go any further than lap 45 at the minute. Not with Tsunoda, anyway. So we will ride just off board Tsunoda. Where did it happen? It was here-ish, wasn't it? No, sorry, it was around here. So Ocon is right behind Tsunoda. Tsunoda is going to bin it somewhere. Oh! Alright. It wasn't Tsunoda at all. Of course, it was Perez and Tsunoda that retired, not Ocon. Ocon got the warning. So Perez is going to drop it behind the Red Bull, and then he's just sat in the middle of the track not moving because F1 AI. Ocon then runs into the back of Yuki, but Yuki and Sergio Perez both lose a tyre there, and that is what caused the first red flag that then ultimately caused the second red flag that led ultimately to our race victory. An all-British podium for the second time this season. 3,500 increase to my pace stat. We might even be 89. We've won the rivalry against Max. We might even be 89 rated now, you know. We're winning the rivalry with Sergio Perez as well. And we are 89 rated because it's telling me I'm 89 rated there. Huge jump in all of our stats with all of those achievements. We're so close to 90 rated now, look. Surely. Still 48%? Come on, mate. So what have I got to do to get to 50% to help continue upgrade the car? I'm not sure. What will that do for the driver's standings then after 5 rounds? That was unbelievable. What a time to get that accolade, though. To boost this from 88 rated to very nearly 90 rated. The Halo will pass, and the side pod profile will also pass before Miami. Miami's a track we got a podium last season as well, I think. Here, we got a P2 in Miami and a win in Imola. Charles Leclerc finished 8th in the end in China, so did get some points, but Lewis has taken the championship lead. So it's Ferrari, Alonso, who still stays 3rd despite the DNF, then me, and I've overtaken Russell and Norris there with that win. Now 7 points clear, Orlando. And Lance Stroll is significantly further back. 3rd, DNF, which shouldn't have been a DNF. 6th, which could have been a 4th. 8th, and then 1st. Our second win in China. I'm not sure how many wins that is. 8 wins for our career then, thus far. 1 pole, 8 wins. So quali, I don't have it. In race pace, I sometimes do. We've obviously lucked into a couple of victories as well. So we won't be too gung-ho with our ability. 13% on each there. There's actually 4 laps in it. So we'll just keep up with the number ones for now then. Have I got enough resource points? I don't have enough resource points to do anything at this stage. We will have... Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do anything until I reach 50% recognition then, which shouldn't hopefully be that far away. Now in Miami, the soft tyre also isn't great, but I think it's still probably a balanced tyre set needed, not the hard. Not the harder. So we'll go to the balanced tyre set for Miami. And I've had 421 resource points. I can't do anything even if I wanted to. So let's see then, when we get to Miami, what the weather's going to be like. And with those new bits on the car, how competitive it is on the R&D progress chart. At some point, Ferrari will get better. It's a fully dry race. It's another sprint. Oh, wow, we're right with Ferrari. As a McLaren, as a Aston Martin. No actual weather email, annoyingly. But mixed conditions in the sprint, a fully wet quali, and a fully dry race. Well, that's going to be absolutely mental, isn't it? So, yeah, Ferrari, Aston Martin, and McLaren have all peaked now and levelled off. We still have been improving, but from where we are now, we've only got the one thing to improve, which is the front downforce. And then that is it, unless George does something or I get to 50% recognition. So either everyone will plateau here, or once I get to 50% recognition, we'll all kick on again. I couldn't tell you. But at the minute, this is the most competitive the Mercedes has been with everybody else. Because, look, we're basically all with each other. So anybody can win any race, in theory now. Although, fully expect Charles Leclerc to be as strong as he has been everywhere this season. Well, that was an entertaining end to the Grand Prix weekend, wasn't it? I hope you enjoyed that. That was absolutely mental. Drop the video a like if you did enjoy. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more of this 4th season and maybe championship challenging year. Of course, join me on stream as well to ensure you don't miss out on any of all of the action. But for now, that's all from me for today. Thank you very much. Up the Merc. We won a bloody race! Okay, bye. Oh my lord. Christian, thank you for the follow, mate. F1, S4, 5. China. Let me set that to upload. For Chris, Bahrain, he's already sent me. I think Saudi and Australia, he's uploaded now as well, so I'll delete that. 2. That's already uploaded on the YouTube channel, so we can delete that. Downloads, that's uploaded on the YouTube channel, so I can delete that. We need a thumbnail though for that video, so we'll go and get that in a moment. Let's see. No, it's not in the Dropbox yet. I can delete those though. Upload file for Chris. China. That was a bit ridiculous, wasn't it? Really? Yeah, it's mental, isn't it, Nick? That's why I love having you guys here to see it all now live. We might not get a replay because of the... We do get a replay. I wasn't sure whether we'd get a replay because of the red flags. Born with a silver spoon in my mouth like Russell. Yeah, alright. Whatever you say, Sam. It depends how much you'd play it, Ollie. I'd say so for 26 quid. It's going to be 5 months till the new game, isn't it? Not expecting the new game till at least May. Try and get just a screen grab from the crash as well, because we're not going to see it on the replay there, but we did show it on screen, didn't we? Let's have a look, see what a potential screen grab might look like. Not sure if it was central enough really to be able to be used. I think it's to get... Cheers, boys, cheers. It wasn't Tsunoda at all. Of course, it was Perez and Tsunoda that retired, not Ocon. Ocon got the warning. So Perez is going to drop it behind the Red Bull, and then he's just sat in the middle of the track not moving because F1 AI. Ocon then runs into the back of Yuki, but Yuki and Perez both lose a tyre there, and that is what caused the first red flag. That then ultimately caused the second red flag, that then ultimately to our race victory. An all-British podium for the second time this season. 3,500 increase to my pace stat. We might even be 8. No, we won the rivalry. Double red flag chaos in China. Now, you know, we're winning the rivalry. Double red flag chaos is what we can call it. We're about to switch now, Hayden. Oops. We are about to switch to FC now. I'm gonna do what we did yesterday to ensure that the VODs are split for the main YouTube, so for the streaming YouTube channel. I'm gonna stop the stream. I haven't eaten yet, so I'm gonna go and grab a sandwich. The aim is to be back live in about 10 minutes time to record an episode of the Realistic Road to Glory. So go and grab a drink and a snack of your own. Join me in 10 minutes time for the next installment of the Realistic Road to Glory, where hopefully we will have a chance of maybe